Right, okay? So you're gonna listen to her speech and do what I'm saying to you, okay? All right. So, so from now on, she will start to give all the information. We will be back here around 3:30, okay? 3:30. So once we come back, you will have some free time to use the indoor swimming pool or take a nice walk around here or go to the seafront. So you will enjoy the hotel and have rest, okay? So I will give the microphone to my colleague, Irini. Big applause, thank you.
Calamari, everybody. Calimera. Octopus, you prefer octopus? Ladies and gentlemen, normally that's what I get every morning. People tell me happy squid instead of good morning. So it's Calimera, Calimera. Welcome to Rhodes. Welcome to this beautiful island. Welcome to my country. I'm very happy you're here. I'm very happy I will show you my island. This is where the driver and myself come from. The driver's Antonis. You know the driver from yesterday. He's the best of the island, of course. Of Greece. No. That's the best of Greece. Of the Balkans, East Mediterranean. You know, he pays me €5 to say these things every time. So, how are you today?
Good. Wonderful.
It's a lovely day. Sober.
No, sober.
That's what I heard. Sober. Okay. So it's going to be a beautiful day today. It's going to be a little cloudy, but that's okay. I'm very happy I will show you my island. As Tunç said, my name is Irini, or Irene in English. Irene in my language means peace. I hope I'm popular here. The truth is that every ancient Greek city had its own Acropolis. Acro is the highest point and Polis is the city, so it's the highest point of the city. But not just that, it is an area dedicated to the Greek gods. You see, people used to worship many gods, 12 in principle. The father of the gods was Zeus. There were many minor gods as well. So every Acropolis was the religious center, an observation point, and a hideaway for women and children in cases of an emergency. Look, this is the highest point of the town of Rhodes. It offers a fine view. On one side, in a minute, you will see the Aegean Sea. Look at the view from up here. The weather today is fantastic. The water is calm. Look, this is the Aegean Sea with the typical blue color, because it's different from the other side. Look, on the other side we've got Mediterranean, right? This is the Aegean blue color on your left, the Turkish coastline, the island of Simi, and if you turn your heads left at the back, you can see the Bay of Ialissus, the town of Ialissus, and at far end is the airport of Rhodes, an international airport which is connected to all the European capitals and to minor cities as well. Look at the shape of the pine trees over here because of the wind blowing on the side. We have the breeze. Thank God we have the summer breeze donated by God Poseidon. So we're not burnt out in our summers because of that, but strong winds in the winter over here and changes the shape of the trees. On the other side you can see Mediterranean and the whole town of Rhodes, which is built in an amphitheater-like slope. Today we have some 60,000 people living down there, but of course in antiquity we had a lot more. We even reached the limit of 250,000 of inhabitants. Look, Acropolis, the religious center of these people. 4 deities were worshipped up here. The most important god, Zeus, the leader of the gods, the god of justice, was worshipped up here. There was a different temple somewhere down there. His daughter Athena, goddess of wisdom, she was born from his head, according to Greek mythology. So she was the goddess of wisdom. She had no mother. One more goddess was worshipped down there, goddess Artemis, and next to the temple of goddess Artemis, it was the temple of god Apollo. Apollo was a very special god. He was tall, he was well built, he had lots of romantic affairs with mortal ladies and other goddesses. Apollo was the typical. Apollo was the god of music, of prophecies, and of the sun, Helios in Greek. And according to the myth, his job was to.
I mean, there was an old castle over here, an older castle, but when the Crusaders came, the Order of the Knights of St. John, those that we now call Maltesian Knights, in the year 1309, they expanded the borders of the old castle. This is the best preserved of Europe. It is inhabited. 6,000 people live and work inside. It is like an alive city, 50 hectares big. There are 10 gates all around. It was the best fortified of its time. 10 strong gates. Pass them from mother to daughter. But we won't be on this area. Okay? Shall we continue?
Yes.
Father to son, no. Father to daughter.
Mother to daughter. Mother to daughter.
They're not only 4 or 5 houses.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the cars and the scooters, but this is an inhabited city, you understand? They have the right to use their cars and scooters over here. I don't like it, to tell the truth, but what can we do? Anyway, our timing is really perfect because you can get a nice picture of the one of the 10 gates, of an original gate to the medieval town. The gate that was opened by the leader of the knights, who had the title of the Grandmaster. So Grandmaster Davois, in the year 1512, 1512, opened that gate, put his emblem up there, and to tell you the truth, he did nothing else, but he became famous, anyway, because of that. You know, as we walk inside together, you will see yourselves how well fortified it was, because every gate, actually, we're talking about multiple gates, so every gate has more gates behind that were locked back then, and the enemies could not enter. There, 1512, 1512, and metallic coverings of the doors original. Multiple gates behind, so that makes it impossible for the enemies to enter.
Oh, it's been a while since that's been shut. Many hundreds of years.
Yes, obviously.
And this one looks like a lizard or a frog, I don't know, look. Or a cat with a long ear.
Our turkeys.
Another animal from the other side. This looks like a deer. Look, the nose, look at the horn. A Greek deer. Beautiful, this is the street. While it's not that crowded, you can take pictures. And one of my favorite spots to take a picture is this corner. Why? Because you get the arch and the mosque. The mosque of the Solomon, look.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great picture, including the arch and the minaret and the dome. Right here, look. Beautiful, this is the street. While it's not that crowded, you can take pictures. And one of my favorite spots to take a picture is this corner. Why? Because you get the arch and the mosque. The mosque of the Solomon, look.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great picture, including the arch and the minaret and the dome. Right here, look.
Το βράδυ να είναι φωτισμένα τόσο ωραία. Έχει μια καλή λόγο. Sorry, that's daft as you can get. Yeah, there is a lot of
Have you been here before?
No, first time.
But it suits you.
Suit me.
We have a genuine royal over here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the upper floor of the palace as it was rebuilt for Mussolini and Victor Emmanuel III. There are 177 rooms in this palace. We have information for a few of the rooms, how they were used, because this was never used as a palace, you understand? It was used as headquarters by the Italians and later by the Germans. Okay, this palace was... he came, but before the palace was ready. He came for, I think it was 1.5 days, something like that, along with Victor Emmanuel. Victor Emmanuel stayed longer to supervise the original statue at the Vatican Museum. This is the statue of Laocoon, and it is connected to the Trojan War, a war that lasted for 10 years. Nobody could win. Homer gives us the last 64 days of the war in his Iliad, when Ulysses came up with a Trojan horse, a very clever plan. The Greeks pretended they had gone away, and the Trojans woke up on that day. They saw nobody outside the walls, and they wanted to bring the gift in. But Laocoon, who was a Trojan priest, he was the one who said, beware of the Greeks bearing gifts. He didn't allow the Trojans, he didn't want to allow the Trojans to bring it in, but Goddess Athena, who was in favor of the Greeks, sent these large snakes and they suffocated Laocoon and his 2 sons. And this is given to us by Homer in 4 lines, but inspired 3 Rhodian sculptures, and Gisandros, Athinodoros, and Polyphemus. And you know, these inside on the walls, it's not tapestry. It is painted, hand painted. Okay, maybe we can go on so everybody can see. I love these mosaics of the dolphins.
Oh, wow. Isn't that gorgeous?
YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube.
You can see on the wall there on the right.
Beautiful.
The marble relief of Montoleone, and also the statue of St. Nicholas as you go inside on the left. St. Nicholas, the one the original is a body, and it was worked by Donna.
And Nicholas is a bit rounder than that.
Yeah. Yeah, lovely old streets, aren't they?
Look, in of Spain, 5th to 16th century.
Yeah.
Take a photograph of me here.
Hello, puss. Linda's doing a lot of walking.
Right, I'd like that. This is a Rhodes fridge magnet. They're there. As if you're lecturing like from a pulpit.
The eucalyptus, all the way from Australia. Just to soak up the water when it rains too hard. Very good. There's Linda. Resting her bones. Video.
I don't need the video on,
That's
do
the
I?
only one I haven't got of me.